I don't even have anything prepared for this video. Like, not really anything. I guess I'm just gonna speak my mind. Hello. So today I want to talk about why I'm mad at Disney. This is basically in response to all of the Disney store closures that happened in 2021 and before 2021, to be honest. Long story short, the first Disney store that I ever worked at closed, and I worked there for a year and a half. I freaking loved it. I loved every cast member. I loved making magic there. I loved the whole store, and it closed. Now that store closing can be slightly understandable. Yes, I was devastated that it closed, but it closed because it was not in the best area, and it was at a mall that wasn't the best mall. It wasn't the most popular mall around. The store and the whole mall, but the Disney store too, just had a lot of theft happening. And so basically after we did inventory a couple months later is when they decided to close it. So in a weird way, I kind of felt it coming, and I think a lot of other cast members there did too. Like, we kind of felt something coming, but maybe we just didn't want to believe it. I don't know. But so it wasn't like a shock, but it still was shocking and sad. So I had to close a Disney store in 2017. Now, I later went on to make magic at a different Disney store that was in a more popular mall in a more popular area, not really a whole lot of theft happening. You know, people around there had like more money, so it was a very popular store. It was always busy. And I made magic there up until March 2020 when the pandemic hit. When the pandemic happened, what was supposed to be a 2-week closure turned into a 4-month closure, and so the store was closed up until July. And when they reopened in July, I made the decision not to go back right away because it still didn't feel safe COVID-wise to me to go work at a Disney store with all those people and children in a mall. Like, it wasn't gonna happen for me. And I'm not the only one. I know loads of cast members decided not to go back. It wasn't, the right time for them, and that's fine. But this last year, 2021, I decided that I was going to attempt to go back to that Disney store as seasonal. Seasonal is what I started working there as, and then later became a full-on cast member. So I was like, you know what? At the time, this was during summer 2021, mind you, so COVID was kind of slowing down. There weren't so many cases every day. A lot of people were getting vaccinated, including myself, so it seemed like it was becoming safer to go back to work there in a mall with all those people. So all summer I kind of debated if I wanted to do it. I was leaning more and more toward doing it, even if I didn't stay on as a cast member like I did last time, even if it was only seasonal. I wanted to just kind of ease my way back into doing that after over a year of not working outside the house. But the Walt Disney Company made my decision for me when they decided to close basically all the stores in North America. That Disney store closed, along with the remaining Disney stores in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, the Disney outlets, loads of Disney stores across the country closed. So my last time making magic, unfortunately, was of March 2020, and I never got to have like a proper goodbye to that store the way that I did my first store that closed, because 2020 happened suddenly, and literally when it happened, it was like second, third week of March 2020, and I was supposed to work that day, and then I got a text from one of my managers saying, don't come in, we're probably gonna close the store temporarily because of COVID. And so that's how it happened. So I didn't even have like an actual like last shift at that Disney store, because my last shift I had, I didn't know it wasn't gonna be my last shift ever. And now that Disney store is gone and replaced, I guess, I haven't seen it, but I guess it's been replaced by like a calendar store or something. I don't know if that was like temporary for the holiday season or what, but it's like the saddest thing ever to go see or walk by or go into a store that used to be a Disney store and you know it, you can still see that it was a Disney store. My old store was turned into like this, I don't even know what it is. It's like clothing, but it's not like a known clothing store. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. There's like a lot of weird things happening in that store. But it still looks like a Disney store. They didn't change like the layout. They didn't paint the walls. They didn't get rid of they used to be like there would be like little, not animatronics necessarily, but like they were like statues that would like move or turn or spin in like the windows of that store. And so that window is still there, but there's no statues in it. And the store is still, this is the part that really, this really irks me. The store is still pink and green. If you are a Disney cast member, especially a longtime Disney cast member, you know what that means. Basically, the first store I worked at is one of the original Disney stores. It opened in the 90s, and back then the stores were pink and green, and it was very gender oriented. Like, it was basically one side was pink and the other side was green for girls, boys, and they don't do that anymore, but that's the way it was back then. But so a pink and green store is like one of the original stores, and it was special to work at a store like that. One of the originals, like a pink and green, like that's a big deal to work at a pink and green store. And with all, like I said, the statues that would move, we had Ariel and Peter Pan and Mickey and, you know, the Fab Five. And it's weird. I haven't even gone in this new clothing store, but I've walked by several times. And it's just weird looking at it because I know that's a Disney store. Like, anyone else might be like, okay, that's just a clothing store, whatever. I know that is a freaking Disney store. Okay, look at me with my 2-finger point. That is a Disney store. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. But like I said, it's been a year. It's been a few years. It's been a roller coaster. Honestly, working for the Walt Disney Company has been a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. And once a cast member, always a cast member. So I can say it has been a roller coaster and continues to be a roller coaster, even though I'm not currently a cast member. But don't get me wrong, I freaking loved working for I wouldn't be this annoyed and passionate right now if I didn't love the company. That's what makes me mad. Because they closed all the freaking Disney stores, and now I don't have a chance currently to go back and be a cast member at the moment, unless I went to freaking Florida or California or Tokyo. So that's basically where I've been with my thoughts on Disney. Yeah, I'm not the only one. And yeah, you can be understanding. I call myself a both sides Cuomo. If you ever watched CNN, you know what that's referring to. I am a both sides Cuomo. And I can see where Disney's coming from, but at the same time, you weren't in the negative. You didn't lose that much money in the pandemic that you had to close all the Disney stores. Just saying. But yeah, doesn't mean I wouldn't go back. If a Disney store opened tomorrow, I would apply. Well, maybe not tomorrow because Omicron is destroying the world. But if another Disney store were to open close by someday, I would consider going back and making magic if I could, if the time was right for me. But enough negativity about the Walt Disney Company, because there's a whole lot of magic there too, and I decided in my next video I'm finally going to do some story times and tell you some of the most magical moments that I had working for the Walt Disney Company. So check back next week for that. Anyhow, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and hit like if you liked, and I will see you all next time.